data types. Advanced data types. So here we will spend 1 or 2 days on basic data types. And next we have to go for advanced data types later. So I will list out what are the things comes under the basic data type. So first one, integer data type. Second one, float data type. Third one, string data type. Fourth one, complex data type. Fifth one, Boolean data type. And sixth one, none type. This is the special type. I will tell you when do we use this one. These all comes under the basic data types. Next, if we go for advanced data type, so first one is list, and second one is tuple, and some of the people call it as a tuple, some of the people will call it as a tuple. This is based on their vocabulary they can use, but usually I will call this one as a tuple. Next, third one, bytes. Fourth one, bytes array. And fifth one, set. Sixth one, frozen set. Second one, dictionary. And eighth one, range. This range is also considered as a one of the data. So these are the things or comes under the advanced data types, or you may call this one as a data structures also. This is the terminology is given by different textbooks, but we can call it as a advanced data types also. Now let us go for these basic data types and we will go through this all in detail. So here, first I will go for these basic data types. Among the basic data types, we'll learn first one is a integer data type. Please 1 minute. So at basic data types, under the basic data types, we are learning the first one, which is integer data type. So here, in the numeric values, all round numbers is considered as a integer values. Either they are positive numbers, or it is negative number, or including 0, which is also considered as a integer number. So here, in the previous example, we have seen one of the example. X is a variable, and I am going to assign a positive number 10. Now, we are assigning this 10. This 10 is belonging to a integer number. Not only positive number. Y is another variable. I am giving -10. Not only -10, I will go for -100. This is also integer number. Again, I am going for Z. I am initializing only 0. This 0 is also considered as an integer number. Here you have to raise one question. Sir, like this, what is the maximum number I can give? What is the minimum number I can give? There is no any constraint. You can give any size of number which can be act like a integer. So let us check one example. So here already we have seen integer type. Next, X is the value, and I am initialize this -10. And when I click, when I print this X, and when I run this one, it has printed -10. So here, negative value, it is accepted. Positive value, it is accepted. Even you can 0, it accepted, and it can print 0 value. These all are said to be the integer numbers. Immediately, you have to raise one question. Sir, you said this one as a integer number, but how can we blindly believe you? So to avoid, to check that one, whether it is integer number or not. So Python has given one predefined function, that is the type function, and you have to supply one argument to this one. Okay, argument is nothing but you have to give the variable value. So here I have created these three different variable. You can give this variable value inside this, and you have to test whether it is belonging to the integer type or not. So here I have x variable I have created. Other than x equal to 10 I have written, y equal to minus 10 I have written, and z equal to 0 I have given. Now I want to test these all variables type. So print, and I am going to give type as a one function, and which type you need to be find, that you have to give inside the way inside this parenthesis. Now I want to check what is x. Now I am going to run. What it printed? It is belonging to the integer class. Integer class is nothing but this is the integer variable. Next. Similarly, I want to test whether y is belonging to integer type or not. So I am printing, want to test. How can I test? By writing type.y. But I want to show this result to the end user. How can I show? By writing the print message. And I am going to close this one. And I am going to run this one. So this is also printing like a integer type. Next, again, I want to test whether z is also integer type or not. Type z. Again, I am testing this one. It is also printed like a integer type. So negative values, round values will be considered integer, positive value integer, and 0 is also considered as an integer. And one more thing I said, what is that? There is no any condition. You can give any size of number, which is round value, which is also accept like a integer. Now we have to test that one. So here I am taking x variable and I am giving this much size of number. Can we read at least what is this number? Can we read at least what is this number? No. Okay. Much size of number I have. This much size of number we can give, and which is also accept like a integer. Now I have to test whether it is accepting like a integer or not. Now type x and I am testing this x value and I am going to run. Tell me how it accepted. It is also accepted like a integer. So here, sir, only this size. No, you can go for any size of number. This much size of number I have given. Next, I am going to run this one. It is also printing like a integer. So to know whether, so here, do we have any constraint? We do not have any constraint. You can give any size of number which act like a integer. Next one. We have to go for another type of data. Second type of data is float type. Float. So how can we write float? And when a number said to be float number? If any numeric value which contain decimal part also, means dot followed by value is available. So x is a one variable and I am going to assign a value. This is 5 followed by dot followed by any number 7, 3, 1, 2, 4. If any numbers look like this kind of numbers are called as a float type of value. Even you can take positive number and negative number and 0.0. Is it integer or float? This is integer. But when you put dot followed by 0, it acts like a float type. If you do not give dot followed by 0, it acts like a integer. When you give dot followed by 0, it acts like a float. But the magnitude value of these both are 0 only. Let us go for this one. We will test whether it like a float type of value or not. X equal to 10.5, y equal to minus 10.5, and z equal to 0, and here 0.0. Next, I am going to test this one. What is the type of X? What is the type of Y? What is the type of Z? Next, these types I need to show it to the end user. So how can I show? By writing the print function. Again, by writing the print function to this type. Next, again, print function. These three things I have written separately. And when I run this one, I can see is all like a class float type. Means these all values are belonging to float type of values. Next one. Integer float. Next one, we will go for string. We will go for string and complex. But before that, I will tell you one simple thing, that is the Boolean type. Third type of data is Boolean type of data. Boolean. So it will show here. I am writing it as a Boolean, but generally it will show message as bool. So here we have only two values to this one. So coming to the integer and float, we have n number of different values are there. Coming to the Boolean, we have only two values. One is true. While writing true, capital T you need to write and followed by all are in lowercase letter. And another value is capital F, A, L, S, E, false. Now I want to assign these two values to the two different variables, and I will check whether they are printing its type as Boolean or not. So that I am going to create a variable which is A, and for this one I want to assign true, capital T R U E. If you give capital T, then only it acts like a Boolean type. If you give lowercase t, then it will return an error, because the way of writing true is the invalid when you write in lowercase letter. Similarly, I am testing B variable where I am writing the false and where F is the capital letter. Again, I want to test whether these two are the float type of values, Boolean type of values or not. So here, A is the variable, and I am going to assign TRUE. When you type TRUE, its color changed from black color to the maroon color. Next, B is another variable, and I am going to assign value as false. Here, I hope you observed the color change. I want to make this capital F. Wantedly, I do. We will see these mistakes later. And I am going to test the type of this variable value A. And I want to show this one to the end user using the print statement. Similarly, print type of B. And I am going to run this one. So these two will be represented as a bool type. Bool is nothing but Boolean type of data. So here I wantedly do mistake. In place of capital F, I am writing lowercase f. So did you observe the color change? Did you observe the color change? Did you observe the color change? Yes. So when you write capital F, which has shown the color, and when you write lowercase f, which has changed color to black color. So here, when I run this code, I can see this one both are the Boolean type. But when I change this one to lowercase f, and which is showing error. So here, false is not defined. So this is the way it will give you an error. When I write capital F, which will return this value as a Boolean type. Next, fourth one, another data type. This Boolean is completed. Next one will go for string type. So the string type we have to write like this. So string, if you write any data in the double quote or in single quote, will be considered as a string type. So here, X is a variable. For this variable, I am writing a message. So for example, India. India is the one of the text, and I am going to write in the double quote. So it is acting like a string. Next, Y is another variable. This variable, I am going to write Hyderabad, and I am going to write this one in the single quote, which is also acting like a string type. Next, Z is another variable where I am going to assign 10 value. But how I am writing this 10? This 10 I am writing in the double quote. Okay. When I write this one in the double quote, it acts like a string. But when you do not write any quotes to this value, then it will behave like an integer. Now we will check whether it is printing properly or not. So here, X is a variable. And for this variable, I am writing Hyderabad. Y is another variable. I am writing India. Again, I am writing in the single quote. Z is another variable. And I am writing in the quotes. Next, I am going to test what are these all types. So print type of this X. And also I am testing what is the type of this Y. And also I am testing what is the type of Z. So here I have written 10. Okay. And while I am executing this one, this all will be written as a string type. Okay. Here you have to raise a question. Sir, I have given this 10 as a 10 is a numeric value. But what I did, I have written this everything in the single quote. That is the reason why it is showing it as a string type. Next, I will go for a variable and I am assigning a 10.5, 10.4, and I have written this one in the double quote, which is also accept like a string type. Okay. So this is the way you have to write the string. And the last one, this one is the fifth type. This fifth type is the complex type. We'll go for this one. Next remaining types we will see in the next class. So complex type. So X is a variable, and if any value which is in the form of A plus BJ. Okay. So these type of values are said to be the complex values, where A is the real value and B is the imaginary value, and J is a value. Its value is root minus 1. Root minus 1. So let us see this type of value. Real value, I am assigning 10 plus B is a imaginary part. 5 and I am assigning j. You have to give only j only. And I want to test whether it is belonging to the complex type or not. Just I am supplying what is the type of this x and I want to print this one and it will show what is this output. So last one, a equal to 10 plus 2j and I am going to test this one type of a and I am going to run this one. So it will return like a complex type. So these are the different data types or present basic data types are there. And we will see how none look like. Sixth one, a equal to directly we will write none keyword. And when I check this output, it will print it as a none type. So directly I am writing none. And when I am checking this type, it will print it as a none type. None is nothing but I need a variable. I am not assigning any type of value. When you don't know what value need to be assigned, then you need to initialize this value as a none. It acts like a none type of data. So these are the different type of basic operators were present in Python. And in coming class, we will go for practice on these data types. Okay, right, guys? I'm expecting you to join exactly by 7:30. So if you do late, I'm going to relieve you late. Okay, remember this one. Okay, guys, bye. We'll meet you tomorrow, 7:30. It's not, I will share this notes. Whatever the content I am writing, I definitely will share to you. So these are the basic concepts. Once we complete the content, then I will share this what I am writing that I directly share as a PDF document. Right, guys? You can leave from this class.